There, welcome to my channel. In this video I'd like to speak about Saturn in Capricorn and how it will affect Capricorn, because it will go into Capricorn December 2017, where it will stay until 2020, March 2020. And Saturn is all about growing up and responsibility, and many Capricorns have created an impact on Earth. I know that there are a couple of feminists. I think that Simone de Beauvoir was a feminist, and she wrote a book, The Other Sex, and Elvis Presley, Martin Luther King. So these were people that were able to take a harsh look at reality, and without trying to persuade it into an illusion, to become an illusion, what we want to see, but for what it really is. And also to work hard and to achieve great success and have a positive impact on Earth. And Saturn is about working hard and taking responsibility on seeing reality as it is, and being realistic about who we are and how our actions affect others. It's about discipline, it's about morality, it's about consequences. Some say it's the planet of karma, but of course every action that we have, maybe one day we take responsibility, even though we don't feel like it, and things go smoothly all day, and other days we don't, and then things go wrong, and we say it's karma, or probably it's the fact that you were too lazy, or you didn't really care. You know, there is a huge difference there. I don't say that bad things don't happen, you know, but when Saturn is involved, many times we have to take, or all the time, whatever Saturn touches, we have to wake up and take responsibility and to be disciplined regarding that area. And in this way we train ourselves to be responsible and mature. And when it passes through the first house of personality, then it's us we have to take a look at. And I remember my Saturn transit through the first house. It was so empowering. I completely changed as a person, actually, and grew up and felt grounded. It never worked, you know, to go out barefoot and touch the earth. I tried that. It didn't work at all, but knowing who I was, yes, it helped. I never felt lightheaded ever again. So Saturn asks you to take a look at yourself and stop blaming circumstances. Don't identify yourself with all kinds of things around you or with what happened to you. Identify yourself with what you feel at this moment regarding whatever or whomever, and acknowledge that, because that's who you are. Or becoming conscious of how you react and why you really react in a certain way, and acknowledging your fears and your weaknesses, and being able to work with them to find a solution. And that's how you get most out of this transit, because you can change as a person. You know, you become aware that you are aware and of who you are, and eventually you also find out what you really want to do in life, and you can find a purpose. And it depends now on your age, of course. If this is your first transit through your first house, this should be a little bit more life-changing than the second. But the fact is that if you don't work with Saturn but against Saturn, and you put up walls of resistance, Saturn will hit you, smash you, and you will feel horrible during this transit. So I don't know so many Capricorns, but I know a couple, and I know that they had always this sense of knowing who they are, you know, and good at economics or interested in that field. So maybe Capricorns have easier, you know, to integrate the Saturn lesson because they are ruled by Saturn. They know that I have to work hard, I have to take responsibility, I have to be okay with myself, I have to know myself and accept myself, you know, and so on. And at the same, being humble in a way, and knowing that you can do a lot and accomplish a lot just if you are hardworking enough. So it depends now. There are certainly also Capricorns that are very resistant, and if you go through this transit and you don't, you are looking for, you know, like for outer things to give you a sense of identity and purpose, this won't work. You know, as an example, people might say, I love Beethoven, you know, and that should put them on a pedestal somehow and create the illusion of status for them. It's like they identify themselves with outer things, you know, and maybe deep inside they hate Beethoven, but they have never thought about it even. You know, they want the prestige. It's like people would say, wow. But Saturn is more than any other planet about authenticity and about coming to the bottom and accepting who you are. And for some of you, this Saturn transit through Capricorn, through the first house, it could also mean that you will go through a time when you will be aware of your body's maturity. And it depends now. For some of you, it might be so that you are reaching puberty. For others, you are 25, 30. For others, you are 40 or 50 or 60, you know, but whatever age you are, you become a little bit more aware of it. And it's also a time to deal with physical maturity, so to speak, and accept that, you know, because we are beautiful at any age. But when you see 70-year-old behaving like an egoistical child, it kind of makes you wonder, you know, Saturn completely ignored this person, you know. So it's good to be you. Saturn in a way is a planet of wisdom. Without Saturn, no wisdom. And you live here without learning anything, without becoming aware that there are consequences to our actions, and that you can have a purpose. You are not just dropped here, you know, to do whatever your instincts tell you or your life, and you know, that's it. That's what love is, what life is about, you know. But it is about finding a purpose, caring about something, becoming aware of yourself, of others, of your impact on this planet, and so on. So, you know, you had this talking about resistance and the need of control. You have this Kronos story in Greek mythology. Kronos was Saturn in Greek mythology, and he was so afraid that he was going to be overthrown by his own children that he ate them up as soon as they were born. But then lucky Zeus, which is Jupiter, survived, and he overthrew in the end Saturn. But it was Saturn's own fear and resistance and need of control and power that was his downfall, basically, you know, because when Zeus took power, he is seen as such a lucky planet, as a liberator, and liberating the world from the tyranny of Kronos, you know. So people that are extremely resistant, that try to control everything around them but not themselves, or to accept sometimes that you have to step back. They become tyrannical, and they can do tyrannical things and so on. So Saturn teaches us to know when to take control, when to let go of control, and that the most important thing is to control yourself, also to get to know who you are, to know your place, in a sense, when to step back and when to put your ego aside and to be humble and show a little bit of humility. And because if you are, you can learn. So Saturn would be in this Greek myth, the worst side of Saturn. He would be the dictator, and Jupiter is like democracy, pure democracy, liberation. So these are two different things. Yeah, this could be a nice and empowering Saturn. The younger you are, the more empowering it is, the more important it is that you are authentic with yourself, honest to yourself, that you acknowledge your feelings, your true feelings, and not what you are supposed to think, or and so on. And don't be afraid, to acknowledge that you have a negative feeling that is true. Don't run away from it, because you will put up the wall of resistance. Just get to know yourself, and maybe if there is something that you really want to change, don't run away from it. Find a way to deal with it or to work through it, and so on, and you will be psychologically much healthier thereafter. And you will take, because life is full of problems, and all kinds of things happen to us, in life, and we have to deal with us. And with a sense of knowing who you are, it's easier. You can take more, and you can handle more, and you won't fall so often and so hard. So you can make some type of steady progress in life. So let's see, there will also be a trine to Jupiter during until November 8th, 2018, and Jupiter will be in Scorpio, which is your 11th house of groups and friendships, and this should help you unite with others, maybe, or teach or join a class for some of you, for others teach, or make new friends even. And but Saturn and Jupiter, I just spoke about the opposites, so some of you might expand because of career, and you can reach out to new people, start new cooperations, and expand your business, maybe online and so on. This could also be the case. But serious discussions, Saturn is also about seriousness. So maybe you hang out with people or have discussions because of serious reasons, something that has purpose, and so on. It's not just chit chat. Making deals with different businesses and so on. And when it comes to the trine to Uranus, because there will be eventually a square to Uranus in the 4th house, then a trine to Uranus in the 5th house. This could help you find new creative insight or sudden insight that can change you or your personality, or that can bring something to your work or in your everyday life, because Uranus is very much about sudden genius, so it could be anything, a creative idea, a solution, a creative solution to a problem, a sudden insight about life and society, or whatever it might be. So definitely there will be, of course, a couple of challenges, but also some exciting change. So this was my take on Saturn in Capricorn and what it will mean for Capricorn rising. Thank you for watching.